From the Delhi studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Arnab Goswami on The Debate at 10. Presented by Reliance Jio. Powered by RP Sanjeev Goenka Group. New Ford Aspire. Ravin. MP Birla Cement. In style partner Raymond.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the de-escalation lobby in India, Imran Khan is a hero and terror state Pakistan is a peace-loving nation. This lobby has given enough fodder to Pakistan, but we will just not allow them to weaken India's fight and resolve against Pakistan and against terror. Let's debate.
At a time when the entire nation is standing with its forces in the war against terror, a few Netas and a section of the media has given Pakistan an alibi. Look at these headlines in Pakistan news websites. The one about our opposition, the one about Mamta Banerjee, and a retweeting of an article that sang praises of Imran Khan.
Sadly, a few political parties guided by Modi hatred have started hating India. No wonder, while the entire nation supports our armed forces, they suspect the armed forces.
The same leaders embarrassed India when our forces carried out surgical strikes.
जो हमारे जवान हैं, जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जम्मू कश्मीर में जिन्होंने अपना खून दिया है, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के लिए सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक किया है, उनके खून के पीछे आप छुपे हुए हो, उनकी आप दलाली कर रहे हो। ये बिल्कुल गलत है। हिंदुस्तान के सेना ने हिंदुस्तान का काम किया है, आप अपना काम कीजिए।
Has the opposition compromised India's interests for petty political gains? Let's debate.
Viewers, we are still not out of a situation where an attempted aggression has happened against India, where there's been an aggressive move against India. Yes, Wing Commander Abhinandan has come back, but that is only one part of what has happened. There is a group of Indians which want India to forget Pulwama. They want us all to forget that, what happened in Balakot. And as soon as possible, they said that they would stand with the country, but they've done exactly the opposite. And Dinesh Varshni, I want to ask you. Sitaram Yechuri of the CPIM says, using a cartoon, and I feel this cartoon is terrible. Somebody said there was the BBC Hindi logo next to it. We'll have to verify this, because if it is true, I would be horrified if the BBC has used even an image of an Indian soldier like Abhinandan with the background of the Pakistani flag. But I expect nothing from the BBC anyway, so less said the better. They've said that Wing Commander Abhinandan is the Sevak and Narendra Modi is the Pradhan Sevak. And they said one serves the country and another serves only his party, and that is the difference. Dinesh Varshni, would you like to open the debate with Gaurav Bhatia? That did you forget that you said that you would remain united and that the enemy is Pakistan? And is Modi therefore wrong when you do something like this and saying that your hatred for Modi is making you compromise national interest? This is unacceptable. I also want to go on to give one more example, and this is terrible. I'm told that Mamata Banerjee said we have a right to know how many were killed at Balakot. Where was the bomb actually dropped, and was it dropped on the target? Which means that Mamata Banerjee has now started questioning the Indian Air Force as well. My second question to you, sir, is will you stop at nothing? Will you drag the Indian Air Force into it? Are you calling the Indian Air Force liars? And is Modi wrong in therefore saying that somewhere, because of your hatred for Modi, you have gone to a point where you now are unable to discriminate between your hatred for Modi and national interest? Dinesh Vashni, remember, people want to hear from you, but you are answerable for what is happening now. People are watching you. The battle has only begun versus Pakistan.
You have asked me.
The battle is not over. Your opposition leaders are now being quoted by the Pakistani foreign minister. Speeches of Kejriwal, where he questioned the surgical strikes, are being picked up, right, Gaurav?
And going viral.
And going viral in the Pakistani media. You know, you are beginning to add ammunition to the Pakistanis. Is this the right way to go about it? And do you think the people of this country will forgive you for what you have done?
Look, Arnab, you have asked me two major questions. Please allow me to answer, then only interrupt me. Number one, you have asked me that we stand united. Yes, we stood united and will continue to be united as far as the national security is concerned and valor of our armed forces is concerned. Nobody has questioned the valor of the armed forces from any opposition leader. But at the same time, nobody is allowed to do politicization of the valor and bravery of our soldiers and our paramilitary forces. But what will you do with the Yediyurappa? What will you do with the Modi ji when he depicted the 41 CRPF slain soldiers at the Churi-Roli backdrop? And what will you do? What was his speech at the inauguration of the Shahid Smarak at India Gate? What was his speech at Jhansi after the Pulwama attack? What was he not doing politicization? I am of the view that we should be greatly relieved that our brave pilot is back. We salute our soldiers. We salute our armed forces. We salute our nation that our brave soldier is back with us, our commander is back with us. But the BJP should apologize to the nation for depicting the soldiers at the backdrop of the Churu rally, election rally of Modi ji, as well as his speech at War Memorial, at India Gate, at Jhansi. And what will you do with the Yediyurappa? I believe Yediyurappa is not a son of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. I believe so. I think I am correct.
The revenge of thank you, sir, for your opening remarks.
What is he going to do with the Yediyurappa?
I would like to remind you,
and I
hope you will give me a minute. I would like to remind you that the revenge of Pulwama is not done. The revenge for Pulwama has not been taken. You promised to stand with the country. This is a matter of national security, and
we are with the country, but Arnab Goswami, you should know. No. Arnab Goswami, you should know.
Can you also hear others,
Patriotism
Dinesh?
cannot
You are not
be
interrupted. Please hear others.
Patriotism cannot be the war-mongering.
Okay.
Diplomacy cannot be a jingoism. Nobody in this debate can behave like a Yahya Khan or Ayub Khan. Everybody has to behave like a mature politician.
अब सुनिए दिनेश जी, अब मेरी भी बात सुन लीजिए. आपकी बात सुनी, एक जने ने भी बीच में नहीं बोला. अब दूसरे लोग भी बोल रहे हैं.
Modi ji and BJP by depicting the slain soldiers photograph at the backdrop of the Churu election rally. In fact, we are of the opinion that the BJP should
I think Dinesh Vashni, you'll have to now conclude your point.
For politicizing the valor of the armed forces.
Now,
our armed forces have proved their mental during 47, 48, 62, 65, 71.
Sir, thank you very much, sir.
Now can I come in?
Pulwama attack, air strike. But we have got every right to question the Modi's intention.
अरे भाई हो गया अब ना, आप दूसरों को सुनना नहीं चाहते और मैं चिल्लाना आज तो नहीं चाहता हूँ कम से कम आप.
Not be a jingoism.
Let me expose you now and your dirty face. Please. Arnab. First of all, to Wing Commander Abhinandan. Just a couplet. And the couplet is a must because he is a hero today for the entire nation. He is a tiger. We have so much.
CRPF soldiers are not the soldiers of BJP.
भैया जी थोड़ा सा चुप कर जाइए. मैं समझ रहा हूँ लेफ्ट खत्म हो रही है, दर्द आपको हो रहा है, इमरान खान आपका हीरो है, मोदी जी हीरो ना बने, ये सब मैं जान रहा हूं,
हो रहा होगा,
लेकिन आप सुन भी तो लीजिए,
खत्म ही नहीं हो सकता।
ये वर्बल डायरिया किस बात का है भाई?
ये कर रहे हो,
ठीक है, अब आप सुन लीजिए भाई साहब। अर्नब प्लीज इंटरवीन, आई रिक्वेस्ट यू, आई डू नॉट वांट दिस।
दिनेश वाशनी
आज आप नहीं, बाकी तो करते ही हैं।
दिनेश वाशनी प्लीज, you had your say sir, thank you sir. Gaurav Bhatia, please go on.
Thank you.
Please go on. Gaurav Bhatia, please go on.
Arnab, okay, Arnab, you know Balakot was a proof of our military strength. Coming back of Abhinandan is a proof of our diplomatic strength and the strength that India is showing under strong leadership of Narendra Modi ji. And look at the sequence of events. When Pulwama happened, every Indian was pained. Within 2 hours, Surjewala came out on the instructions of Rahul Gandhi to say, "Kahan hai 56 inch ki chhati?" वो 56 इंच की छाती क्वेश्चन देश की कर रहे थे। मोदी जी ने खुली छूट दी आर्म्ड फोर्सेस को। अब भैया मैं देखिए आपको आखिरी बार वार्निंग कर रहा हूं। A responsible prime minister, a strong prime minister gave a free hand to the Indian army. Look at the valor of our Indian Air Force. What they did was a preemptive strike and they ensured that 300 terrorists or 350 terrorists are eliminated. After that, what happened? They immediately wanted.
Is there no, the charge against you is.
I'm coming to that. But this sequence of events, just allow me. I don't need more than a minute. Immediately when the brave Indian Air Force had responded, now what should the opposition party do? So they started saying, what about Abhinandan?
Yes.
That was the point. So what happened? The government diplomatically ensured return of Wing Commander Abhinandan. What do they do now? Imran Khan is a hero. That's the new narrative. If Imran Khan is a hero, ask Imran Khan then to send back Masood Azhar, Hafiz Sayyid. He will not. But I tell you that Narendra Modi ji, this government and our armed forces will ensure that these people are also sent to India or they are eliminated. Stop changing the narrative. And in your hatred for Narendra Modi ji, don't cross the border to sit in the laps of Imran Khan is my point.
No, my point to you is, one minute. The point I want to make to you is, and maybe Sumant would like to take it forward, is this. That you have said and you repeatedly say, in your hatred for Narendra Modi ji, don't hate India. This is the point which is being made here.
Right.
In your hatred for Narendra Modi, don't hate India. So watch the language, Sumant. This is very interesting. I'm sorry.
Can I complete?
No, sir, you cannot, because I have not completed a question.
I go back.
And the problem with you, Gaurav, is because you're from the ruling party, you believe you should rule the debate as well.
The problem is with those 21 parties who issue this statement after the joint meeting, and it is quoted by Pakistan Radio and the journalists.
Listen to me.
That is the main
question
problem.
is,
there is no problem with the media or with
my
us.
question is, I think Abhijit Iyer Mitra will be joining us in a bit. If I look at the language used, Suman, just a minute. The language uses in your hatred for Narendra Modi, don't hate India. Are you, Gaurav, deliberately trying to equate Narendra Modi with India and India with Narendra Modi?
Okay.
Because there is a very, in the semantic stylistics of it is not lost on the audience.
In 1975,
No. Yes.
There was a man called
Who's Narendra Modi
Let
ji
him
today?
respond to you, so let Suman respond.
Remember Devkant Barua, Arnab?
Devkant Barua, yeah.
Do you remember D.K. Barua? He said Indra is India, India is Indra.
Yes.
Do you remember that? This is very...
he was before my time, but I do know of what he said, yes.
Where we are saying
and
that
most of the Congressists still
India.
believe that.
So,
that Gandhi is India and India is Gandhi.
One minute, listen.
Sir, you are... This is the point I'm trying to make is to equate opposition to one individual with opposition to the nation itself does not make any logical sense. If somebody is having look, the opposition has not questioned the military, the opposition has stood with full support to the government. All they have requested is don't try to
let me expose that then.
Suman ji, this or politicize this.
Suman ji,
let's get on.
No, 1 second, sir, which is what Mr. Yediyurappa did.
First of all, I disagree there.
22 seats in Karnataka thanks to the airstrike.
Honestly speaking, first of all, I disagree there because the statement of the 21 opposition party was quoted by Pakistan Arvind Kejriwal's video is viral in Pakistan and they are using it as a political brownie point.
Sir,
I have never seen in the past that at such a time you've used ifs and buts. Let me read the statement of Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee
saying something to you.
Pradeep, are you aware? Pradeep, 1 second. Are you aware that the statement of Mr. Yediyurappa was also quoted on the same Pakistani media?
No, I condemn that statement. In fact,
watch. Since he said that, I am Sumant, wait a minute. Let me say something. Sumant, I want to take you on that. Since you're talking about statements, wait a minute, yaar. Why are you people all jumping all over me? Listen to me. Since you're talking about statements, Sumant, may I also invite your kind, attention to the statement of senior Congress leader Oman Chandy, who said, "Welcome home, Abhinandan. Thanks to the genuine efforts of, at Sherry on top, which is Navjot Singh Sidhu, and the goodwill gesture from Imran Khan." Which means, welcome home Abhinandan, thanks to the joint hard work of Navjot Singh Sidhu and Imran Khan, he came back. I mean, this enables people in the Pakistan. No, don't dismiss it. Don't dismiss it. But don't dismiss it.
He is crediting his own congressman, that's all.
No, this is not acceptable.
Let me expose Imran Khan. Has he handed over Hafiz Saeed to us? Has he handed over Masood Azhar to us? First they were saying that Masood Azhar is not in Pakistan. Now they go ahead and talk to an international journalist and says that he's very unwell. He's an hypocrite. Name one terrorist that Imran Khan has handed over. It's the strength of India which has compelled him to act under Geneva Convention.
No, 1 second.
And again, Arnab, 3 minutes back, they have again made a video.
Priyanka Chaturvedi. One more example. Sumant, one more example I'll give you. Dinakar Lanka of the Telugu Desam party. You see, the combined opposition has. May I say a sentence? You have made the last 1 week about politicizing a matter of national security, and I have a problem with it. Is it about Modi Virodh, or is it about questioning the Pakistanis? Today, Priyanka Chaturvedi of the Congress party puts out a tweet. She says, "Wing Commander Abhinandan, despite being in captivity, refused to share a part of India he came from. Prime Minister Modi has no hesitation in sharing Wing Commander Abhinandan's details from his campaign rally on stage. This is pure and simple anti-Modiism. You are basically mocking the nation and matters of national security at this time. And I really think that you should not be indulging in cheap politics at this time. You should be standing together and you should beam the picture of a united India.
Absolutely.
You should beam at least Dinakar Lanka, whatever happens, what the opposition has been doing at a time when we haven't even taken the revenge for Pulwama is unfortunate. I will not change my position on the matter."
You need to hear
Arnab, I'm listening to you, sir. I am listening to you, sir.
We don't have personal enmity on Modi. If we have personal enmity with Modi, we don't go along with Narendra Modi in the year 2014. His 4 years administration is undermining all the institutions, and he is using all the mechanism of the democratic
Arnab, let him finish.
Come to the point. As far as Abhinandan wife's video clipping is concerned, she very clearly told that don't use the sacrifice of our soldiers for political gains. What about the Yediyurappa? What BJP is doing? She most particularly
let me respond to it.
She most particularly spelled out about the BJP. Let you speak about it. Why did she speak about the BJP alone? It is very important that this BJP is conveniently using
Arnab,
as a political
my friend was talking about destroying institutions. Did they not destroy the institution of our armed forces when they're asking for
First of all, I think the point on Yediyurappa has been made.
Can I respond to that?
I want to respond to that. Dinakar. Wait a minute.
He has said that Yediyurappa was not right in making that statement and nobody should politicize the valor of our forces. He's made it very categorically clear. So once the president of the BJP has spoken,
you got to listen to each other.
Most particularly,
I've been listening to him, but I wish to
louder. I can't hear him.
BJP.
It's a very bad video line.
She used. It is not my comment.
Let me answer him.
Okay,
sir. Listen to me now.
Dinesh.
You know, it's not about the BJP or the opposition. It's about our country first. And you know who's destroying the
institutions? If it is about the country, you must first say that it is unacceptable that B.S. Yediyurappa said there would be a wave in the BJP's favor as a result of the follow-up of the strikes.
Arnab, I think I made it so very clear.
Absolutely
because
clear. No, you make it clear now.
Yes.
You make it clear the second time, Gaurav.
I have made it clear.
Say it to all the viewers.
It's the statement of Mr. Amit Shah. He's made it very categorically clear that Mr. Yediyurappa should not have said it, and the valor of the country should not be politicized. Once Mr. Amit Shah has spoken, I think nobody else needs to make any further statements. That's the stand of the party. But let me tell my friends in the opposition.
You know one thing.
During the surgical strikes, the Congress asked for proof. It was destroying the institution of our armed forces. Now Mamata Banerjee is again asking for proof. Please do not speak in between and stop heckling. What I want to tell you, sir, is that once the Indian Air Force says that there was strike, there is strike. You are nobody.
The BJP and
you have this habit of weakening our country. गद्दारों को, दीमक को, बुज़दिलों को, दोगलेबाजों को खत्म करने का टाइम आ गया है. और जब तक ये लोग खत्म नहीं होंगे, हमारा देश मजबूत नहीं होगा. पाकिस्तान के तो टुकड़े पहले किए थे. आज जो इच्छा शक्ति है मोदी जी में, दोबारा टुकड़े हो जाएंगे. लेकिन ये जो घर के दीमक है, जो रोज देश को खाते हैं, जब आतंकवादी को मारो दर्द इनको होता है, अलगाववादी को पकड़ो तो रात में सोते नहीं है, माओवादी को मारो तो ये लोग बाहर निकलते हैं कैंडल लाइट मार्च करने के लिए. शर्म आनी चाहिए. चुल्लू भर पानी घर में होगा, उसमें डूबने की कोशिश करो. आज रात में भी केवल मोदी जी से नफरत, अपनी एयरफोर्स को क्वेश्चन करते हो. घटिया लोग शर्म नहीं आती है. जब एयरफोर्स ने कह दिया अर्नब मैं बोलूं, ना वही जो हमारी आर्म्ड फोर्सेस का है वो ही सही. और अगर कोई बीच में बोला तो वो दीमक को भी खत्म होना होगा. सिंपल. Do you understand?
कौन दीमक बोल रहा है?
मैं जितने लोग देश के साथ नहीं खड़े, वो केवल दीमक नहीं, वो गद्दार भी हैं, वो बुज़दिल भी हैं, और वो लोग दोगले भी हैं. और ऐसे दोगले गद्दार, दीमक और बुज़दिलों को हमें खत्म करना होगा. देश को खाते हैं ये लोग. जब हम पाकिस्तान से जंग लड़ रहे हैं अर्नब, क्या ये समय है कि ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग में 21 दल निकले और बोले कि देखिए सरकार पॉलिटिसाइज.
आपका चार्ज क्या? एक मिनट सुनिए ना उनकी
बात
सुनिए ना प्लीज.
और मॉन्गरिंग कह रहे. बताइए
एक बात नहीं बोलते हो. येदियुरप्पा क्या बोल रहा है?
बोल दी मैंने. आप अपना कान चेक कराइए और मुझसे लीजिएगा जो भी खर्चा होगा. अर्नब से पूछिए क्या बोला मैंने.
दिनेश
मैं दूंगा, लेकिन कान ठीक कराइए और अपनी नियत ठीक कराइए. लेकिन नियत ठीक कराने का कोई डॉक्टर नहीं है कंट्री में. बात जो कर रहे हैं वो कड़वी है, लेकिन अच्छा आपको दर्द हो रहा है. ये दर्द नहीं आए हम लोग. रोज रात में बैठ के रिपब्लिक चैनल पे 9 और 10 बजे सारे व्यूअर्स को परेशान करते, देश को खोखला करते, बिना सुने बोलते रहते.
Whether it is a BJP government or a
बीजेपी भी इस देश की एक पार्टी है.
कम्युनिस्ट गवर्नमेंट
बीजेपी भी इस देश की पार्टी है. आपकी तरह चीन के साथ नहीं खड़ी होती हमारी पार्टी. 1962 के युद्ध में when soldiers needed blood, termite party like the left said that don't give blood for the Indian soldiers.
No, I want to ask you, Dinesh Vashli.
Today is a historic day for 2 reasons.
Okay, can you stop and allow me to have an occasional word on my own program? The problem is that your bellicose voice does not allow anyone to speak. Gaurav Bhatia, please slow down. Thank you. Now my question is, thank you. Sometimes I wish that I have some mercy on my guests should have mercy. I see all of you people go on other channels and put the, I'm sorry, don't mind Gaurav, you speak so softly, you put the country to sleep. But when you come on this channel, so all of you people seem like you had 2 shots of...
That's a reflection of the energy that your channel provides to every panelist.
Well.
It's a compliment for you.
The question is not that. On a serious note, Dinakar, just a minute. On a serious note, should the opposition be saying at a time when everything should be done, Abhijit, to, sort of raise the morale of our soldiers, should they be saying that your government doesn't care for you? When we are in a situation of conflict, a broader point needs to be made is, we saw the Congress from its official handle saying that
Arnab?
the government...
Where did they say that?
You want me to read it out in English? Yes. So I would like to read it out.
Yes, please.
We stand with our soldiers and we will continue to question the government on their apathy, which translated means the government does not care for the soldiers. Now, would you want some more description of this, or want it translated in some other language? Problem with you, Sumant, is that you do not understand that if this is not an attempt to demoralize, you see, you must, no, 1 second. Sumant, please understand the context.
What is the first
understand the
sentence?
context.
We stand with our forces.
I completely, can I tell you, in life never do this.
See,
don't try and say the second sentence should be read with the first sentence.
Some parties are
Please don't do this. You are a mature man, hopefully so. I do think so. Abhijit, my point is this. We need to look at this. I have been saying repeatedly, please hold your horses. You do not at this point of time have to step forward and say things which breaks the image of a united India. And Abhijit, Sumant will not like it, and neither will Dineshji. But much of this comes from an essential insecurity that there might be a political fallout of a conflict. Now, when there is conflict that is thrust upon us, it is our bounden responsibility not to think of a political fallout. We must only think about tackling the enemy. We cannot come from a perspective that should we tackle the enemy, or should we tackle the enemy, somebody might take a political advantage out of it. That is a very narrow spectrum thinking, doesn't it? I mean, it reeks of insecurity. And people of India have seen through that very insecurity.
So Arnab,
that you must put nation first, Rashtra Sarvopari. You are putting politics first, Rajniti Sarvopari. It's as clear as that. Abhijit, do take that forward.
Arnab,
I'll listen on to this debate. Go on.
Today at a government function, Arnab, at a government function today in Kanyakumari,
where
the speech was fully about
social media means everything is now extreme. You're either extreme.
I can't hear you, Abhijit. Sumant, let Abhijit speak, for God's sake, please. Abhijit, you'll have to be louder. You're up against extremely aggressive spokespersons from the other side. Go on.
Okay, I'll try to scream. But unfortunately, we live in times where
please do. With all your might.
Social consensus is broken down. The old norms of a civilized society have all the norms of an old civilized society have broken down, and that's essentially the work of social media. Because democratizing voices can also mean anarchy. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, extremism on both sides, the left and the right, grows greater and greater. And across the world, you see it in America, France, Britain, everywhere, the center is broken down. Politicization, unfortunately, is the name of the game. We can't avoid it. And, it's much better to look at society as is, rather than how it should be. I mean, with terrorism.
But Abhijit, let me. I don't mean to provoke you. I never do. I never do, and I don't mean to speak out of turn, which I also never do. But will you stop laughing when I say that? Will you stop laughing when I say that? I just want to tell you. No, I'm saying this to Abhijit because there is a tweet that I saw of this the comedian Navjot Singh Sidhu today. Now Navjot Singh Sidhu says, quoting Chanakya, जिस जंग में बादशाह की जान को खतरा ना हो, उसे जंग नहीं राजनीति कहते हैं. In other words, he says that if the king does not die or risk his life, he's doing politics. In other words, in simple English, he's saying that if Modi does not have a direct threat on his life, then everything that he's saying... No, let me translate this in simple English, sir. I know it's a Chanakya quote, sir. I said so. I don't attempt to plagiarize. And I hope even Sidhu did not. Now listen to me, sir. My point is, how can you say that unless there is a risk to Narendra Modi's life, This is what is said. No, Gaurav.
This is the
that unless there is a risk to Narendra Modi's life, then he does not mean anything for the country.
Meanings of that.
This party. This is the pitch. It is the pitch.
Exactly being anti-India that you are saying till the time the life of your Prime Minister is not at risk, you will not consider it as a victory. No, this is shameful. Dinesh ji, now do you agree with Mr. Sidhu's statement? The comedian.
No. This is not the derivation of historical reasons also. I am very sorry.
No, it is. He's saying that till the time the life of Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of this country, is not at risk, it is not a victory or a war.
Sidhu said that don't do warmongering.
And also is the CPM General Secretary wrong?
Which I also said. Patriotism does not mean warmongering.
Sidhu के हक से कुछ मिला क्या?
Patriotism cannot be
Sidhu की छप्पियों से क्या मिला?
Please try to understand.
It is not warmongering, it is fighting against the terrorists.
In the word of the institutes,
what are you saying?
Peace
we retaliated in Pulwama. It was not warmongering.
This is what he said.
Shame on you.
No, Pradeep, I am not making it up. Gaurav Arya.
No, this is shameful.
Gaurav Arya, my Hindi is not as good.
Sidhu must have got a call from Pakistan.
I tell you, if the Congress leader has said that जिस जंग में बादशाह की जान को खतरा न हो, उसे जंग नहीं राजनीति कहते हैं, चाणक्य. इसका अंग्रेजी अनुवाद क्या है? क्या है इसका? What is the English translation of this statement? And I want you to debate with Sumant on this.
Okay, the English translation of this is simple. A war in which the king's life is not directly threatened is not war but politics. This is what Navjot Singh Sidhu said in his
It's an attempt at demoralizing or not?
Absolutely. 100%. There is no discussion on this.
How does the Congress party do this repeatedly? I want to ask Sumant, because he always backs.
I don't even know, Sumant. I don't even know the logic of this because what does he want? He wants Modi ji to take an AK-47 and accompany the army on a surgical strike. What are you saying?
No, he wants.
Not just that, Arnab.
Yeah, मतलब क्या चाहते हैं?
Look, the entire objective seems to be the opposition party.
No. Let's hear from Sumant. No. Let's hear from Sumant. Oh, for God's sake, listen to him, yaar. Listen to him.
Arnab,
okay, Sumant, go on.
Arnab, the entire objective of the exercise seems to be to paint the opposition as the enemy. Unfortunately, that is not the case. And I mean, I put out an analogy earlier in the day.
Not all, but many of them.
Let Gaurav Arya go. Let Arya go.
Sumant, can you just explain the tweet, please? Can you explain the tweet, please?
A man who has a problem with his neighbor.
Can you explain the tweet, please?
Frustration.
Sir, can you explain the tweet, please? I'd like your explanation on the tweet.
By blaming his wife.
Sir, we'll have this global gyan later.
Explain the tweet.
Maybe some other day. The tweet, sir.
You're giving global gyan. Don't give me the global gyan. Yeah, that's a nice phrase. I love the phrase. Global gyan.
Please ask.
You're giving global gyan, Sumant.
Explain the tweet.
Sumant, can you stick to the tweet, please?
No,
please explain this tweet.
That is not the fundamental problem.
Yes, sir.
No. This whole
absolutely, you're right. Now the tweet, sir.
Says anything as a major enemy.
The tweet, the tweet.
They are not the primary enemy. Sorry.
Sir, Twitter.
I am not here to defend Sidhu. I am talking about the entire theme of the debate to turn this into as if the opposition is the primary enemy here.
Mani Shankar Ayyar also going on Pakistan.
Okay, I want to now. No. Since everybody is throwing things at me, I want to ask everyone from the opposition. Abhishek Bakshi, Gaurav, can you stop trying to anchor the program? Gaurav, I'll walk out. You have to wait. No, Gaurav, you have to.
What is the action taken against
not saying what Mr. Lanka said. So factually,
one second. I want to ask.
Arnab went on for days saying what action has Congress party taken against Mani Shankar Ayyar? They suspended him. What action has been taken against him?
And then took him back. And then Rahul Gandhi visited Mani Shankar's house.
Okay,
he still enjoys the confidence of Mr. Rahul Gandhi. But the point is, what about
1 minute, sir.
What about Khushbu?
Just one.
Has he been issued a show-cause notice?
No, I want to ask you, Abhishek Bakshi of the Trinamool Congress. Abhishek Bakshi of the Trinamool. Thank you. Abhishek. Now I want to go to Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee said, Abhishek, can you hear me? We have a right to know. The people of this country want to know how many were killed at Balakot. Where was the bomb? Was the bomb actually dropped? was it dropped on the target?
Not terrorist.
In other words, you see, Mamata Banerjee is a Modi Hatao. That is a basic call. But this sentence can be spoken by a Pakistani leader. I cannot believe that an Indian politician is asking whether the Indian Air Force actually dropped the bombs. I thought it was only Pakistani politicians who speak like this.
See, Arnab, we are here
is
to
this not the language of the Pakistani politicians?
And not the spin that we
is
try to
this not
generate.
the language? No, 1 second. Abhishek, is this not the language of the Pakistani politicians? Was the bomb actually dropped? Please tell me. Why would you accuse the Indian Air Force of lying? You have a chief minister of a state who are saying that the Indian Air Force, in collusion with the government, is lying about having dropped the bombs. Now, I have not even seen any American politicians do that. Why would an Indian... Tell me, I'm listening. Explain to me.
Yes. So opposition categorically told that we are unanimous. Unanimously, we are standing behind the government. We, in these needs of the hour, if the war is needed against terrorism, if the war is needed for the country, if I am...
No, why did you say that the bombs were not dropped?
Let me complete the sentence. At least have a courtesy to
Abhishek, why did you say the bombs were not dropped?
At least have the courtesy to have completed...
No, why did Mamata say the bombs were not dropped? Why does Mamata feel the bombs were not dropped? Simple. Why does Mamata feel the bombs were not dropped?
Sentence.
Yeah, that is... Yeah, but you heard my question. You want to make a speech. I'm asking you. Yeah, I will allow you to complete 100 sentences. But first question is, why did Mamata say the bomb was not dropped? Why did she say the bomb was not dropped on the target? Please answer that, Abhishek.
And how many terrorists?
Do you know what this means?
Clearly,
saying something like that, I should not question it.
You keep on.
You're not answering the question. No, wait a minute. Let me see. No, I think you don't want to answer. I lost the TV signal out there. Yeah, you are explain to me.
Please let me answer at least 1 or 2 sentences.
You are getting worked up because you don't have an answer. Okay, answer.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
I'm counting till 30. I'm letting you answer. 30 seconds. Go on.
To actually debate on. Here in national television, we are here to actually talk on the fact and not try to build a spin, try to show each and every opposition party is anti-national. Opposition has categorically told that we are standing behind the government solidly in the need of the hour. But what BJP is doing is going to a national memorial and on the dead body of martyr, they are attacking the opposition party. Opposition did not do a press conference after the event, like what Modi ji did after 26/11, like what Modi ji did after 26/11. Opposition is not doing that. Opposition is telling in a democratic system, please tell us the news. Please tell us the facts, because all international media,
what was my
neither Indian media nor Pakistani media, all international media
I'm getting some calls from people who are saying Abhishek, wonderful. Abhishek, see, you and I both understand English. I asked you a question in English. You want me to speak to you in Hindi, Bengali, what language? I will ask you the question again. Why did Mamata Banerjee say,
for English speaking
was the bomb dropped?
In English?
Was it dropped on the target? That was my question. Why did she say, did the Air Force actually drop the bomb on the target? This is a language that is spoken by Pakistani leaders. I can't believe why an Indian leader did that. Please answer, why do you think she said that?
So the answer is, if you look at the report by all international media, whether it is Reuters, Huffington Post, everybody has gone and told, not Indian media, not Pakistani media. The third-party international media have gone and told there has been very less casualties. So whom shall you believe? Because in this time of war, whether Indian government or Pakistani government, they will try to downplay each other. We know that.
You think, Abhishek, I have to allow me to counter and then I give it to you. Abhishek,
see,
first of all,
each and every opposition party is strongly against terrorism. We are strongly
you believe in a Abhishek, listen. Abhishek, listen to me now, I heard you. You believe in a Raj relic, dinosaur, Jurassic, antediluvian organization past its expiry date called the BBC. You will not believe your own Indian Air Force. That is amazing. So for Mamata Banerjee, the last word is the Jurassic
No, not only BBC. It is Reuters, Huffington
of the
Post,
global
everybody.
media. She believes in them. Arey, theek hai. What is Huffington Post? It's an aggregator, yaar. They have no news of their own. What are you talking about? Huffington Post. Anything with an American sounding name. 1 minute. Anything with an American sounding name. What do I call you? Now you only believe the Sicilian Post and the Huffington Post.
Media.
Now listen to me. Be serious. I repeat to you today. I repeat. Sumant, I repeat. This question has not been taken. Viewers, you want this question answered. I ask you today. I'm sorry. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. I am asking everybody, Dinesh and Suman, to tell me, Mamta Banerjee, Mamta Banerjee must have been a retired air marshal. She says, was the bomb dropped on the target?
What is the statement of the air vice marshal?
Was the bomb dropped on the target? You tell me.
After the bomb dropping, and what is the statement of the BJP leader's claim? What is the difference between the Air Force officer statement?
Wonderful.
And the
Was the bomb? You go against the Air Force. Yesterday, the Air Force, the Air Marshal came out and he said, we dropped the bomb on the target, we achieved our targets. Don't misconstrue. There is a limit to it. I have been listening to this. I'm asking you again, viewers, please give me your tweets. I'm going to respond to a few. Okay, I'll allow you now.
What about the Amit Shah Rally?
Mamta Banerjee did not only question the place where the bombing was done, how many people, how many terrorists were eliminated. She also said, questioned the timing of the Pulwama attack. So, do you decide or the armed forces decide the timing of the attack?
Your lies.
You tell me, you question the Pulwama attack, you question the Balakot attack, you people are not with the country. Second, what about Surjewala? Within 2 hours, is it not shameful he came out to say what is the action that the government is taking? Then what about Samajwadi Party? The Samajwadi Party went to the extent of saying that Indian government has struck a deal with Imran Khan. They have actually asked them to vacate the building in Pakistan, to demolish it to gain in the elections. This is the state of affairs. Saifuddin Soz came out that why did you withdraw the security of the separatists?
Lanka.
Lanka is lying on your television saying that the wife of Abhinandan is actually questioning the government. That's a fake video. This is all a propaganda being done by the opposition because they are nervous that the country today stands united.
My question is, Arnab, my question is,
you should first
listen to him, Gaurav. Listen to him, Gaurav. Listen, Gaurav.
Andhra Pradesh Janasena Party Chief Pawan Kalyan issued a statement that the BJP leaders 2 years back told that just before parliament elections there will be a war with Pakistan. This statement comes from Janasena Chief Pawan Kalyan, who is the friend of the BJP.
What are you saying, sir? I protest. I protest. I protest. I protest. 1 second. Dinakar, as a responsible spokesperson of a responsible political party, for you to say that an attempted war is being orchestrated before an election is absolutely a statement against national interest. Pradeep is responding there. No. You have to take it back. You have to take this back. No, this is not done. This is not done. You should not have done that. You should not have done that. You take it back.
Who goes ahead and says that, okay, the video, what is the timing of the attack? Mamta Banerjee calls terrorists as people. Now you here are demeaning the efforts of the armed forces.
No, he said an attempted war is being created. One sec. He is saying here right now, Dinesh Vashni, that's the problem. You have gone down to the point, Dinesh Vashni, of saying that there is an attempted war being created because of an election. Are you trying to say that Pulwama did not happen?
Should we say that?
What are you saying?
Should we also say Rajiv Gandhi was assassinated and it was pre-planned? Should we say that because there was an election? Such cheap things should not even be uttered.
Dinesh is saying something to you. Dinesh.
Do you support warmongering? I'm asking you. Are you
You know who is doing warmongering? People like you.
I'm asking you.
People like you are actually indulging in petty cheap politics. The country today is in safe hands. Modi ji is acting like a responsible prime minister. The citizens are being responsible. People like you are afraid that, incidentally, there might be political advantage to one party. Nobody is bothered about political advantage here. We only care for our country. We care for our armed forces. And you have no right to question what the Indian Air Force has said. If the Indian Air Force has said there has been a strike and 350 terrorists have been eliminated, put a full stop to it. Mamata Banerjee does not even have 100th the credibility of what the armed forces have.
Shame on you.
Who's Mamata Banerjee?
Should be taken back.
You must apologize.
Shame on you, Mr.
Mamata Banerjee.
Pradeep, calling as attempted warmongering. Shame on you.
No,
you
said can be heard from you.
Don't divert. You said that the attempt of the heroic efforts of the armed forces where they nailed roughly 250 to 350 terrorists inside Pakistan is war-mongering. Shame on you, sir. What kind of mindset you have?
You say today that you support war-mongering.
No, it is not war-mongering. It is the heroic efforts of the armed forces to nail the terrorists. क्या बात कर रहे हैं गौरव जी जरा बोलिए इनको
I want to say something to you. I want to say something to this communist warmonger. I want to tell you, एक minute. I want to say something to you. You want that soldiers should keep on dying in Kashmir while you have fun in Delhi. You want soldiers to die in Kashmir. You want soldiers to die everywhere because the Indian soldier is expendable. That is your communist plan. You want soldiers to die, and when somebody speaks about retaliation, you say it is warmongering. You don't have a word about Pulwama. You are a communist. You are the direct descendant of Mao Zedong.
What have you been taught in NDA?
Yes.
War. As a first
You're a warmonger. You're a communist warmonger.
I want to expose him. His peace-loving talk has given us 1993 Bombay, 1998 Coimbatore, 2000 in Parliament attack, 2002 Akshardham, 2003, 2006 again Bombay, 2005 Delhi, 2006 Varanasi, 2007 Samjhauta, 2008 Mumbai, 2010 Uri, Pulwama. This is what your peace has given us.
More than 15,000 people have died, soldiers and civilians, in violence sponsored by Pakistan. Wake up, smell the coffee, my dear.
I only repeat once again. I repeat once again. Please tell me now. Please tell me, Mr. Abhishek Bagchi, Mamata Banerjee, Air Marshal Mamata Banerjee, and I mean this. I mean this.
Pakistani Air Marshal.
No, what? I mean this in jest. Lest that now somebody tweet Arnab said so. You know, these trolls. The question is, I say to you, Mamata Banerjee said, what is the proof that the bomb was actually dropped and it was dropped on the target? I want to ask you, Abhishek Bagchi, you tell me.
I ask Arnab, I dare you.
What? This word, 1 minute. Can I speak to him? Can I speak to him?
You say that you support warmongering. You don't support peace.
Question, Arnab.
You don't support
you are sounding like Ashutosh.
By political
broken record. He has said the word warmongering 100 times without any sense.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll reply to you. There was a person called Ashutosh who came on my program recently. Like you, he said, I dare you to call Sachin Tendulkar an anti-national. I dare you to call Sachin Tendulkar an anti-national. And when I said that Sachin was wrong, no. When I said that Sachin is wrong, not to call for an end to India-Pakistan cricket, he walked off. And then some godforsaken website says Arnab called Sachin an anti-national. You are trying to play the same trick. It's an old communist trick. It's an old communist trick.
He's off track completely.
It's an old communist trick. I dare you to say warmongering. I don't, 1 minute. You will not call 130 crore people in India warmongers. We are not warmongers. We are not warmongers. We will have justice for Pulwama. Why are you quivering? Why are you quivering? You quiver about China. Why are you quivering about Pakistan? Now I ask Abhishek. Abhishek, tell me. Abhishek, tell me. A lot of people responding right now. Abhishek. Oh God, Vietnam again.
Imperialism.
Vietnam again. Vietnam.
ये इनका एक कम्युनिस्ट का दिमाग वहीं तक चलता है. Vietnam, China, Long March.
What was that song?
But a class war.
We didn't start the fire.
We didn't start the fire. Yeah.
One question, Arnab.
Why did no, Sumant? I have also one question for you. Only one question. When Mamata Banerjee says Where was the bomb dropped?
Only one question.
Was it dropped on the target?
Yeah, exactly.
Is she speaking responsibly? Please tell me.
No, Arnab.
Tell me.
No, one second, Arnab. Equally,
when the Air Force has said that the bomb was dropped on the target, why is Mamata Banerjee putting doubts?
One second.
Why is she putting doubts in the minds of the people?
No, 1 second. Yesterday, our Air Force. Yesterday, 1 minute. Yesterday, our Air Force very clearly said.
Our Air Force said very clearly that the bomb was put on target.
I think every Indian believes them.
Trying to put doubts.
Very clearly. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll come to the point. The objective was achieved.
And one thing I want to tell you. The
MEA statement
in their main gun, the Air Force has cameras, and I'm sure the Air Force has taken all the videos and photographs that it needs.
Gaurav Bhatia on this program mentioned, 1 second, sir.
I'm saying leave the number of terrorists, whether they were 250, 300 or 100. I want this, that Indian Air Force has spoken authoritatively. They have said that Pakistan has been taught a lesson. There was an airstrike. Why do we need to question the Indian Air Force after that?
No, Mr.
Well, I am not questioning the Indian Air Force.
No, Mr.
Why do we need to raise that question? और अंत में एक लाइन पे करना चाहता हूँ अर्नब जी, ध्यान दीजिएगा, ये उन दोगले के लिए है जो दोगले आपके चैनल पे भी बैठे। ये सुन लीजिए, दिल के फफोले जल उठे सीने के दाग से, दिल के फफोले जल उठे सीने के दाग से, इस घर का आग लग गई, घर के चिराग से।
I'll end the debate at this point. I would repeatedly say once again, I've only given some examples. And Suman, 1 minute. Gaurav, wait. Gaurav, don't always try to get the last word. Suman, and to everyone, I find what Yediyurappa said unacceptable. I said what Mamata Banerjee said unacceptable. That has to stop. Finally, at the end, I want you to tell you viewers,
absolutely,
the revenge for Pulwama has not yet been taken. The nation awaits. Good night and goodbye.